Update on the replacement fans, some of the lighting is different. The sink has arrived. Now the sink is installed and fully functional. I have some lighting installed above, so now I've been working my camera angles carefully here to not prematurely reveal that I am redoing the fan situation. I absolutely love the Evergo that I had here, but looking at my total working area with the drain board and potentially a portable table involved, I was wanting a little bit better coverage of airflow. The problem with that has been finding the right fans to use. I could have done sort of a mismatch situation, but I really want to just run these on one control and have the speeds relatively the same. So what I arrived at is these two. I am kind of on the lookout for a pair of 36-inch fans that might suit this better. 48 inch is absolutely overkill for this area, but it's what I have to work with for now, so it will work. The problem I ran into with these is that this one had such terrible bearings, and the whole point of matching the two fans was to have them running at the same relative speed. The bearings were so stiff on this one, to have it going, the other one would be running much faster. So I did something uncharacteristic for myself, and I went in and replaced the bearings on this one. By some miracle, I had the exact ones I needed on hand, so this was quick and easy, and now it spins much more freely. It's still stiffer than the other one, but I think that's because they're new bearings now, so hopefully that'll break in over time. Right now, I have not done any of the wiring or anything. I just got these mounts in place a little bit ago and wanted to hang these up to make sure they were going to clear everything and not just look ridiculous. While they are overkill, they really do just fit in here like a glove and just barely miss everything. So this is going to work, and I will be happy with the result until I find something that might suit this better. So now that you're updated, I'm going to hop off and see if I can get some wiring run. I'm trying to kind of get as much done over here as I can because, like I said, I might use this space to fill in stuff that I have to move. So I don't want to be stalled out on all this while stuff is sitting here and I just can't get anything done. So I'm just going to see what I can do, and I will try to check in with you in a bit. Okay, I am back and I have working fans. I can probably trim the control a little bit more. Honestly, I'm not too concerned about that for the moment. I'm going to give this one a chance to get some run time, see if it loosens up a little bit before I adjust. Just in the little bit it's been running already, it already seems to be picking up some speed, so that's good. I also have kind of the main switch leg for the lighting pulled over, and down over here I had already added this switch box for the lighting, but I got all of the line voltage wiring run into it. I also did a different fan control because I never really liked how that one that mounts inside the box looked over here. The surface mount one on the front of the box I think looks quite a bit cleaner. So I still have to run a low voltage dimming wire from this box up into the ceiling, and then from there I'll be able to tie this one up, and then after that it'll just be running some wire back and forth up in the ceiling, and this part will be pretty wrapped up. I don't know if I'm going to get much further tonight. Right now I need to take a break to eat something, and then I had a couple of other things I wanted to get to tonight, so I'm not sure if I'm going to come back here. I may try to get that low voltage wire run up and tie this box up at least, but if I get anything significant done, I will check in before I leave. Alright, I decided to just keep going at it back here. Everything I get done now is less to do later and less backlog. I've made considerable progress and would like to finish, but I simply have to go. So you can see I got the last remaining lights installed. I am almost finished getting this box put together, then I just have the last one to do. This box is all together, I just have to tie everything in. And down here I got the switch installed and everything done here. So that is where I'm leaving it for tonight. I've already stayed for too long, so I'm gonna get out of here. Hello, I am back the next day, and I have been diligently working trying to get this done, and as you can see, everything is completely done. So I didn't really have time to explain last night, but I had to get a little bit creative with the lighting setup. These lights have a canopy kit available for separate purchase, but since everything here is wide open and I was going to be mounting on the trusses anyways, I didn't think it would be worth the extra cost to get that. So without that, there was no integral clean way to get the wiring terminated. I decided to just go with these little handy boxes, and it worked out pretty well. So without any further delay, I will show you everything lit up. I'll bring it up to full brightness. Wasn't sure if that was going to register on camera, but it looked like it did. These fixtures are 3 CCT selectable. I have them at 4000 Kelvin. Normally that would be on the cooler end of my personal tastes. I really do not like anything much cooler than that, and even 4000 sometimes verges on too cool for me. But in this application for cleaning, I feel like everything looks a little bit more crisp. The screen on my camera is not always the best indicator. It looks like things are maybe showing a bit more shadowy than they are in actuality. In real life, this is truly the delivery that I was looking for. Everything in the basin is lit well with minimal shadowing. Actually, standing here at the sink doesn't produce a shadow inside the sink. That's been a bit annoying the last few years when I've been using the wash tub upstairs. The lighting is mounted centered in the room, so the entire sink is just a shadow. Difficult to see what you're doing and if you're actually getting things fully clean. So I think this is going to be a major time saver in that regard. I won't have to clean things twice when I didn't realize they weren't clean the first time. Only thing really left to do is add that washboard on the end, but I'm going to leave that off for now because I'm going to use this area to stage the things that I need to move from the other end. I'm going to try to get a start on that now, so I may just show you some of that as filler, but I really just wanted to check in and show you the progress here. And I just realized I didn't show these dimmed down all the way, so let's show that. It is low voltage dimming, so it's not like they go down all the way to nothing, but in this application, I don't know when I would ever use a setting like that anyways, so this is definitely more than functional. I am glad that I went through the effort of adding the dimmer though, because full brightness is a little much. I think normally I can have it down just a little bit. So once again, really thrilled with this turnout, and I will either check back in a little bit, or if I don't, I will see you back soon. Alright, so here is what I had to do. I had to move this stuff out so that the plumber could get to these 2 lines. They're going to add a circulation pump for the hot water because it takes forever and a day to get hot water to the kitchen sink. And to do that, he needs to run another line down here. So we're fairly certain that he's just going to come straight through this section. Thankfully, fishing the line down here won't be too much of a problem. I'm glad I don't have to take all of this down, but I did just go ahead and remove any sort of uncommon glass just to make sure it doesn't get broken. I think I'm actually going to remove these as well just to be safe. And then I have a bunch of stuff just staged out here. There's a few things just kind of sitting around everywhere, and I used this back here to put the new in-box stuff. Nothing about putting it over here was efficient, but hopefully it's short-lived. So that's just a little explanation of why everything is in disarray in case I don't get back to explaining it. And that's going to do it for tonight. I'm not sure when I'll be back or what I'll be doing, but I will see you soon. Hello, I am back here again. I have been working on editing both the last video that went up and this one, so I know I'm pretty much at the end for time, so I'm going to use this opportunity to close this one out. The plumber is coming in a couple of days to hopefully finish everything up, so hopefully from here I can get everything back on track. Of course, it is the holiday season, which is my busiest time at work, and then after that it's pretty much right into lightovation, so no real promises for what's coming up for vlogs in the next month or two. I'm always working on something and always filming, so things will be progressing forward. I'm just not sure when I'll have enough for a full video again. I do have a couple of things to look at before I let you go. So we haven't really looked at the display for a minute. As you know, a couple of things have come down. The heat fan came down so that I could do the install in the garage, and the Stealth also came down to do the remake video. And this Mastercraft came down just a little bit ago while I was working on today's project. Since the Stealth came down, I wanted to start playing with what I was going to do to move the boxes a few inches towards the wall. It took a little bit of trial and error to get this one to work, but now that I've got the method down, this one has gone pretty quickly, and all I really have to do now is remount the box. My main concern was if they were going to be sturdy enough, moving them over the amount that I needed to, but I think I got all of that worked out. I've hung my body weight on this, so I have no concerns putting a fan on them. So I think once this one is done, I'm going to have to quit for today. Then I have this one for sure left to do, and I'm still trying to decide if I want to do this one. I really think I might as well, just to give this location a little bit of extra wiggle room. and I think I've got enough supplies to do it, so I probably will. You're probably also noticing that the Vespucci is gone, hopefully more coming on that soon. Actually, I'll maybe try to slide that and a little something else into the end of this video. This is actually probably a good place where I could get updated on a couple of things that have happened. So I think that about wraps it up here. I am not going to close out because we are now going to go to the condo for a couple of updates. Alright, I am home. There's all kinds of non-fan related stuff that I need to update you on here, but I am still in the middle of some projects, so I don't want to do that yet. But I do want to update you on the fan changes because they're a little bit more ingrained with my regular content. Starting here in the kitchen, ignore the ladder, it's still in here because I'm touching up some paint, but this is where the Casablanca Vespucci went. I still liked the Toto in this installation, but it was never going to be my permanent choice. I still don't know that this is really going to be a permanent choice either, and honestly this install is easy enough to access that I don't know that anything will be truly permanent here. Out here the Spitfires are more or less permanent because they're a duo, and this one is not the most fun to get up to. But the others I think will always kind of be fair game to play around with. So I really wanted to try this one here because it's kind of more of the vibe that I want to lean into. I definitely wanted something slightly smaller, more like a 52-inch size. I also desperately wanted to bring in something with more than 3 blades since everything else I have installed is a 3-blade design. Ideally, I was thinking something with 4 blades to keep it a little less busy. I also like that this is a statement piece, but the white blends away a little bit, and yet it still has that little touch of brass to tie in with the rest of my stuff. So overall, I'm enjoying it. The hanging height worked out to be just about perfect. So this one will probably live here for the next foreseeable future. No change here in the office, it's still the cute. Though I have been playing around with the idea of swapping that one out. Mod is still here in the primary. I'm still liking this one a lot. I really need the speed control that WAC, Modern Forms, and Fanimation offer, so I don't really have much else that I would want to swap in here for the moment, but the change that has occurred is over here. So this is that little Adlon thing, I think that's how you say this. I modified it, completely removed the light kit, and painted the blades gold. I also went in and removed a bunch of the hardware between the top motor coupler and the switch housing. There were like extra nuts and washers in there, and I hated how big of a gap they created between the blades and the rest of the hardware. It looks much more seamless now, and I really like how it looks without the light. Eventually, I may try to find some sort of flat panel LED that I can add to the bottom just for convenience. I did actually really like having the light that was here set to a low setting so that I could use it if I got up at night. So it might be nice to have that again, but I did pull out that light and added a proper fan box. And I added this here because I found that it got super stuffy over in this vanity area, especially after using like a blow dryer, but even in the winter when the heat is on, it kind of just gets warmer and stuffier in this area. And during the summer, it kind of just stays that way unless the air conditioning is running. So I'd been using a portable fan down on the floor anytime I'm over here for an extended period of time, but I didn't like having to take it out and put it away every time. It was just kind of inconvenient. So that's how this idea came to be, and it had to be the absolute tiniest fan possible because I really didn't want to move the box location. In the scope of how this is set up now, it would probably make more sense to locate it in the center of the space. However, I actually like having it centered on this opening, and the placement is actually ideal because I don't necessarily want it blowing on me when I'm over here, I just want it circulating the air. So it's nice to be able to face the vanity and not necessarily have the airflow coming at my face or anything like that. The majority of the airflow kind of comes down underneath the fan, and it really does help a lot to just recirculate that stuffy air. So I finally got this up maybe a month and a half ago, and I've been really loving this improvement ever since. So I think that just about concludes everything for this one, and I'm going to go ahead and close out. Thank you all for watching. Remember to subscribe and ring the notification bell before you leave to get updates for all of my new videos. Once again, not exactly positive the next time you'll see something from this series, but I thank you all for always hanging with me this time of the year. Again, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. click left to watch another vlog, or click right for my entire shop vlog playlist to start at the beginning.